introduce yourself and explain why you are a candidate for the Oakland School Board.
So my name's Alicia. I have two students in OUSD. I have a 7-year-old who's in 1st grade, and I have a 9-year-old who's in 3rd grade. And we moved to Oakland 3 years ago. We've moved 4 times in the last 10 years, 6 years overseas, and then we were in Orange County, and now we're in Oakland. And I'm a candidate for school board because of the process that my family has gone through just to have my kids in Oakland Public Schools. When we moved here, it was February. They said there was no space. My son went to private school for 3 months. We pulled him out to put him in the public school. And a week before school started, we got accepted to a charter, which I just had no idea. There was just, it was very overwhelming. I had no sense of what the difference was between the public school or charter school. And after 2 months, I had to pull my son out. I enrolled him in our neighborhood school, which is Kaiser, which is now closing or being merged. We're being rezoned. So through my experience, starting with the Roots closure, and then now through what Kaiser has experienced with Sankofa and what we've been going through, I thought that I should put my hat in the ring and run for school board.
Thank you.
So first, please introduce yourself and explain why you are a candidate for the Oakland School Board.
My name is Reginald Mosley, and I am a single parent of 3 children at Montclair Elementary School. They're in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd grades. We actually started out at Sankofa, and we were there for 1 year and 2 weeks into the 2nd year. I was involved with Oakland Reach, which they provided a great deal of information as to the plight of students within Oakland. And at first, I didn't believe what was going on because the thought was not my child, but it could be any child, not just mine. And even if your child is doing well, if they're not going to a good school or the instruction isn't equitable, at some point in time, yes, your child will fall behind. It's a 12-year, 13-year process, so you have to be prepared for all of that. But in the very year, I started to see what was going on within the school itself and what was going on within the district, talking to different board members and seeing how they carry themselves, the types of things that they went through as a board member. And I feel like generically, yes, the processes could be changed, but it's bringing the board itself back into alignment to where it should be, which is setting policy and working on policies that make school and education equitable for all children across the board in every school. And it's not really about charters versus district, it's about equity. If you provide equity, no matter which school you go to, charter or district, then the choice really doesn't matter. They will always get a good choice or an equitable education.
Could you introduce yourself and explain why you are a candidate for the Oakland School Board?
Yeah, so my name is Sam Davis, and I'm running for Oakland School Board because I care deeply about our schools and our kids. I taught for about 7 years in adult education, and then through that, I became very deeply involved at the Manzanita campus where I was teaching. And my son ended up going to Manzanita Seed for elementary school, and I got involved through Faith in Action East Bay in going to the school board during the different waves of budget cuts, advocating for more money for schools, less money for central office. And through that process, got to see the board. And when I found out that 4 board members were planning to step down this year, that was just really dispiriting to me in terms of what does it mean for their investment in our community, and what does it mean for the instability that that's going to cause potentially to our schools. So I think through that process, I just decided this was the right time for me. I went and talked to a bunch of different parents in the North Oakland schools in District 1 and found that a lot of people had not been that involved in the district-wide issues. And so I felt like it's really important for me as a former teacher as someone who was an OEA member for many years, was a site rep, was involved even in bargaining for adult ed. So I've been there on the strike. You know, when the strike happened last year, I was out there supporting teachers, helping to organize volunteers for the Solidarity Schools. So I care deeply about our schools and I want them to succeed. And I think that this is my opportunity to give back. You know, we have a world in crisis, an environment in crisis, a country in crisis, and a district in crisis. And I felt, all right, the district is the one that I can take on, that I feel like where I can make a change.
Great, thank you so much.